In this presentation, we will talk about how we can take a post, such as a text post, and transform it into multiple different languages. Our objective here is to take one text post and then convert it so we can have something like a blog that would be in another language. Wouldn't be perfect because we will be using conversion tools to do that, but we could have something in Spanish. We can also use that text post to help supplement something like a course. And if we can convert it to Spanish, we can also have that Spanish supporting information as well that could be useful to some users. Once we have the document in Spanish as well, then we now have a text file in Spanish that we could try to convert with conversion software into an audio file. So once we do this, we can actually take that text file and maybe think about an audio file that we can then add to something like a course, or maybe even see if we can convert that audio file and make our original English file have an audio track over it, which is a little more difficult than you would think. But there's a lot of things we can do with it. So our step at this point in time is to say, all right, now we have a text file, and now we're going to be converting that text file into another language, and then we'll talk about some different things we can do once we have the text file in another language. So get ready for business, online business. All right, so in prior presentations, just to recap here, we had an MP4 file, which is a video file, which is something that we can upload to something like YouTube. We made a MP3 file, which is an audio file, which we can make a podcast from. We can also upload that to like a course or something like that if we so choose, to make it downloadable and whatnot. And then we made a text file from the video file. So then we had a text file, which we can then make a PDF file and make posts from as well and upload that to the course. If we have a course, these are just some options, things you can do with it depending on your business. And now we're going to go and take, all right, what else now we got this text file, what else can we do with this? Well, one thing we can do is we can convert it to different languages. Now that's pretty straightforward. If you can get it into a Word document, you can convert it to different languages. Once you have that, then you can use that as a resource for a course or as an added resource as a post. And then once we have that, then you can think about, well, you can try to convert that into like an audio file. So that's where we will go now. So here's this. We made this from Otter. We took a video file. We made now this text file. Now, again, it's got a conversion in it because we took an audio file and made a text file. If you don't go in here and review it, which we have not, it will not be perfect. And depending on various circumstances, and including how clear your voice is and how well your speech pattern happens to match up with the conversion tool and whatnot, this could be good or bad. But just note, it's a lot better than it had been in the past. They're getting pretty good at this. And we're trying to put together, you're going to have to measure your quality of resources versus the quantity of resources. There is some balance. You have to be you got to find the balance somewhere. So we just did the conversion here, and now we're going to go back on over and notice this is type of stuff that if you don't have to read through it and know the topic and whatnot, you can hire someone else to do this type of stuff. And that's another thing you want to consider when you're thinking quality versus quantity. You got to think, all right, how can I put this thing together so I can possibly give it to somebody else to do these types of things? And how can you do that? Well, you can make instructional videos for it, and then you can even, and this all will work for that as well. Okay, so now how do you do this? Well, we're in Word, so now we can go to Word. We can go to the Review tab within Word, and they've got the trusty translator over here, so we can then go to the language translation, and then I can say, I just want to translate this. Now, we can translate a section, but we typically would want to translate the entire document. So I'm just going to let's just take this entire document and then translate it. And so then you can take your information and you can translate it. Now, obviously, Google has a whole lot of different languages you can translate in. You don't want to get crazy on this and try to translate all of your information to a bunch of different areas because, again, you're weighing the time versus the benefit here. So, for example, you might have another blog in one other language or something like that, or you might try to market one other language with your courses and say, hey, look, I'm adding these resources to these courses, and maybe that would widen your scope for a particular area in the course. Just depends on what you need. Or if you're working somewhere and you're making these video files and you have a population that speaks another language, then maybe these resources is a way that you can distribute like your video content again a little bit further in your work that might help a little bit better. So for me, I typically would pick Spanish, given my area and where I'm at. The secondary language for me that would be most useful will typically be Spanish. So I'm going to say Spanish, and then we're going to translate. So there we have it. So now we've got our document translated into Spanish. Now, it would be great if you had someone that could review this, because notice what we've done now. We've taken a video file and translated it into an audio file, which is going to mess it up a little bit, right? And then we didn't review it. We just took that text file and then translated it into another language. So now we've got basically two translations happening here. So it would have been nice if we had someone editing at either or both steps within those two translations. But again, you're weighing time versus, versus the amount of content that you can do. So that's going to be the easiest thing. It would be nice if you had someone at least read over the title. It would be good and say, hey, does that title at least make sense? That might be good. But in any case, that's going to be that. Now, notice that this is an entire different document. So we have two Word documents now. We have the one in English and the one in Spanish now. So then typically I would copy this entire thing. So I'm just going to say, all right, I'm going to copy the name in Spanish so that I can see that it's in Spanish. And then I'm going to say save as. And let's go ahead and put this in the same folder that we've been working on the desktop. So we're going to say, let's put this in. I think I've been putting it in here for some reason. And then I'm going to say this is a Word document. And I think it's in Spanish. That should be enough to know that it's in Spanish, because I should be able to read that and say, like, well, I can't understand that too well. Although I've been working on it. I've been working on it. I've been slacking. But in any case, we're going to say save. So there we have that. And then, again, once you have it in Spanish, if you're going to put this into a course, a lot of times it's more professional to have it as a PDF file. And it might save time. And if someone doesn't have Word, they can open the PDF file. It's a little bit easier to open with any type of software. So then you can save this as a PDF file. So I would go File, Save As, and then I'm going to say Browse. And then I'm just going to convert this from a Word document. I'm just going to say, hey, would you save that as a PDF file for me, please? So PDF file, and then save that. So that, and that could be another, useful resource, and you can upload the PDF file, and people can open that and any resource they have on their phone or whatever. If they don't have a Word document, they don't need to format it in Word. Now, if you were to give this resource to somebody else for them to be using in like a course or even in your work to provide to them for resources, now what do we have? Well, we've got the video file. Then we have the audio file, which someone can basically download and be using the audio file. We have the Word document. I would typically create one Word document if you have a course and put the Word document in there just to maximize the potential they can use it. Because what if you have someone that speaks another language other than Spanish? Well, they can take the original English Word document if they really wanted to, and they can convert it into any language they want, right? So I'm just going to convert it into the typical language that might be the second best usage, save it as a PDF file. I'm not usually going to upload the Word document in another language. I'm just going to upload the Word document in one language. And anybody that wants to take that and convert it using Google can do so. And then I'll upload the PDF file in the second primary language, just to show that I'm putting an effort here. This is how you do it. This is it in the primary language. If it's another language, you can use Word for that type of conversion. So that's what we have now, and you can put that into a course now, and you can try to expand the type of use that you can have in the course. Obviously, if you use something like a YouTube, all you can do is the video file. But if you have a course platform, even if it's for internal use, even if it's for your work or something like that, you could say, hey, look, go to this Udemy course or whatever course platform you want to use. And you can get the video file, but we also have the audio file. You can see it in a PDF format. You can see it in a Word document. You can convert that to any language you want. We've converted it into Spanish if you want. However you want to consume this resource, we have it there for you, right? And so that's what we have now. Now, next time, we can take that Word document then and say, well, now that it's in a Word document in text, could we then convert it back to an audio file like in Spanish now? We can. But that's another conversion, so it's probably going to lose. That's going to be 3 conversions now. The quality will go down, but it's possible. So let's take a look at that next time.